From North Korea to Afghanistan and Syria, an awful lot going on in the world today with foreign relations.
Yes, this morning, Memphis Congressman Cohen is here to talk about that and about his town hall meeting that he's hosting. And good morning, Congressman. Glad to have you back here.
Good to be back.
As you well know, a lot of these town hall meetings have been very lively over the past few months or so around the country. A lot of people still very vocal about the status of health care. Where do you think we stand there?
Who knows? Trump changes from day to day. He says he wants to have a bill. We go back in session on Tuesday after being away for 2 weeks of break. He wants to have a bill on Wednesday, which no one will have seen except maybe the leadership. And if he's gotten together the Tuesday morning group, which are the folks that thought it went too far in taking away health care rights, a Republican crowd of about 20 congresspeople, and the Freedom Caucus, about 40 folks that felt like it didn't go far enough in retrenching the federal government and leaving it up to the states and giving less.
Right.
If he can get them together, maybe he'll have his votes. He wants a victory before his 100th day in office. And that's not the basis for health care, to do something to put your ratings up, to say you did the first 100 days. It ought to be based on the bill. And the bill ought to have been given to members to have an opportunity to look at, to discuss, and to debate. So we may vote on something Wednesday. We haven't had a chance to debate or discuss. Terrible, terrible legislative process, and bad for health care.
Does that surprise you after the first attempt that completely failed, that he doesn't seem to quite get the process yet?
He doesn't understand the process at all. I've had two folks I've talked to, Republicans, who went to see him in the Oval Office. One came in, he said he was looking forward to it. It was the most wonderful day of his life. His third termer. Never been in the Oval Office. Trump says to him, where are you from? Had no idea. Told him, you for the bill or against the bill? Against it. He said, next guy. He said he took from what would have been a wonderful experience and made it a terrible experience. Another guy came in, said he wanted to talk to him about a certain issue. He said, we don't have time for that. This is about politics.
So is it the CEO mindset, do you think, of just being able to make decisions unilaterally that is getting in his way?
I think it's the idea that there's a mindset. I don't think he grasps the issues. I don't think he understands it. Like he says, it's complex, and it is extremely complex.
Yeah,
one thing affects another and has a reaction elsewhere. He does not have an understanding of it and the need to have health care, and he thinks you can just have a great bill, a tremendous bill, a terrific bill, with just, he just uses words. He doesn't know what the bill does. He just wants a win.
Congressman, I want to ask you about the proposal that Senator Corker and Alexander have come up with in recent weeks involving health care, especially here in the state of Tennessee. Have you had a chance to look at that? Would it help folks in this state, especially right here in the Memphis area?
It could. I think in those counties where they don't have a health insurer, and they need that help, and we just saw a major story about all the rural hospitals that closed in Tennessee, the crisis that occurs. You know, I haven't had a chance to study it. My staff has. I'll look at it when I get back, but we need to do something. And certainly we hope the Trump administration doesn't try to kill the Care Act through administrative cuts, and they've already limited the enrollment period next year from about 2.5 months to 45 days, and it seems like they're going to try to kill a death by 1,000 cuts.
Okay, this month we also face a potential government shutdown because of funding. We've been through that rodeo before, but the White House now seems to be signaling that the Mexican wall funding needs to be tied to moving this forward and getting a bill approving funding for the government. What do we do there?
Well, who knows what he's thinking, because what he ought to be tying to it is not something that he wants, because that's not the problem. It's something that the Democrats want. If he doesn't get Democratic help, I don't think he'll get a bill through. And what the Democrats will want is something to guarantee that people get health care. And that's what's so important right now, is health care for people who might otherwise lose their ability to have insurance.
Do you think there will be a government shutdown, or where do we stand there?
It's entirely possible, because this man does not know how to work with Congress. I think it'll be seen historically as the worst 100 days of any president ever, except for Benjamin Harrison, who died on the 31st day of his presidency.
Well, does that make your party, though, the new party of no? You know, it was for 8 years everybody called the Republicans the party of no. No, I'm asking.
I know you can't. The Republicans are the party of no. They have no new ideas. They have no initiatives. They have not brought anything forward except repealing regulations that protect people.
So how do you respond, though, to those who say, well, the Democrats are getting in the way, they're being obstructionists? How do you respond? Because a lot of Democrats not in Congress say, Well, look at the past 8 years. Republicans said no, 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 no. So that doesn't seem to me to be a good response. It's sort of tit for tat.
I don't think it's a good response. I think there's a reality that Mitch McConnell said on the first day or so of President Obama, we have to stop him for second term. We have to stop this man.
Right.
And you can look back to Merrick Garland not being the Supreme Court judge and not getting a hearing, and Ed Stanton. District court judges aren't the same as Supreme Court judges. He and they stopped him from being a district court judge. That's how bad they were.
But again, tit for tat doesn't work. So how do you respond to that?
They've got a large majority. If you can't get something done with your own large majority, it's your problem. You are the party that can't get anything done. They're not bringing forth proposals even their party can agree on. So that's a problem, serious problem. I just got back last week from South Korea and Japan. Went to the DMZ, very educational trip. That's a place where we need a leader who is cautious, who uses diplomacy, who speaks the truth, and who uses sanctions to the best of his ability. Working with China is great. China's going to want a price. The price could be Taiwan. That creates a real serious issue. That while Kim Jong-un is somewhat unbalanced, he certainly wants his weapons for a purpose of keeping himself in power and not of killing himself. He's not a ISIS fighter who's going to self-immolate. We need to negotiate, and we need not to heighten the tensions with more bluster and stories about armadas that we find out are not true.
Just a few seconds left to your town hall meeting. What's the purpose of it?
Millington Library, we have Congress on Your Corner every month. This is a Congress on Your Corner. We want to engage with people who need help with their government assistance and benefits or just government interchange with government activities. We'll have all of our staff up there to answer questions and individual cases, and then I'll deal with whoever comes to talk with them about whatever issues they want to raise about policy. It's kind of, I guess, it'd be a mini town hall.
What do you expect will be the #1 concern for people?
Health care. People want health care and need health care. That's a major concern.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you so
Steve
much.
Cohen, thank you very much.
You're welcome, and go Grizz.
Go Grizz.
Sometimes when you get in the hole, you need a veteran who's been there to bring you through, and it's the same thing in politics.
You pointed at me when you said that also.
So step in, get off the bench.
I guess it's that time.
He's obviously seen you play.
Obviously not. Thank you,
Thank you so much.